ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सागणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेषाय शून्यवादी भाष्यतदेशतारिणि हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते नमो ब्राह्मणदेवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय ते नमः तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महवदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः पाञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नन्दकोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमो जय विदास्तु। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण माता
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा। ॐ नमो वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुदीनदायनं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं जयो श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So which prayers we are reading now?
prayers of Lord Brahma.
Yes, prayers of Lord Brahma. So this happened after which Leela?
Mohan Leela.
Yeah. My voice is clear, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, माता जी।
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14. So prayers. So the chapter name is Brahma's Praise to Lord Krishna. Verse 5. पुरेह भूमान् बहवो अपि योगिनस्त्वदर्पितेहा निजकर्मलब्धया विबुध्य भक्त्यैव कथोपनीतया प्रपेदिरे अञ्जो अच्युत ते गतिं पराम्। पुरेह भूमान् बहवो अपि योगिनस्
बहवो अपि योगिनः
त्वदर्पितेहा निजकर्मलब्ध्या
निजकर्मलब्धया
विबुध्य भक्त्यैव कथोपनीतया
विबुध्य भक्त्यैव कथोपनीतया
प्रपोदिरे अञ्जोच्युत ते गतिं पराम्।
प्रपेदिरे अञ्जो अच्युत ते गतिं पराम्.
It has only translation.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Almighty Lord, in the past, many yogis in this world achieved the platform of devotional service by offering all their endeavors unto you and faithfully carrying out their prescribed duties. Through such devotional service, perfected by the processes of hearing and chanting about you, they came to understand you, O Infallible One, and could easily surrender to you and achieve your supreme abode.
Yes.
Hare Krishna
So,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So this verse just says that we know like who are the 12 Mahajans who know Krishna very well, right? Who have achieved this platform. Who are those Mahajans?
Prahlad Maharaj, Bhishma
Yes.
Dev,
Brahma,
Uh,
Swayambhu Manu, Narada, Shambhu,
yes.
Janaka.
If you tell the shloka, it will be easy, right?
Yeah.
Anyone knows the shloka? Veena Mataji, you know that?
No,
Swayambhu
I
Narada
don't know
Shambhu.
fully Mataji.
Okay. Nobody
Yeah.
knows Shailaja Mataji? Swayambhu Narada Shambhu, no one knows? Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumaro Kapilo Manu Prahlada Janako Bhishmo Balir Vayasaki Vayam. So Kumaras, the four Kumaras, uh, Kapila Muni, Kumara, sorry, it starts with what? Kapila Muni. What
Swayambhu
is the first
Narada.
word? Swayambhu, yeah. Swayambhu is Lord Brahma, right? So Lord Brahma, Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. So Narada is saying, sorry, Brahma is offering these prayers. So of course he would not be talking about himself here. That he is talking about the other devotees, right? But then he himself also is a great devotee, right? His name, the verse says that these are all the Mahajans in the Bhagavatam who have understood Krishna very well, right, by devotional service, who have already achieved the platform. But we know that, like, we know about the three devotees, right? The Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttamadikari. Usually, the one who is in Uttamadikari, that position, they think themselves always that I am not a great devotee. No, that is the feeling of a great devotee. So here we can see that he is not speaking about himself, but he is uh, telling about others. Even like Gopis also, or even Radharani herself, she always thought that others have more love for Krishna than me, right? Though she is the one who is having uh, so much of love for Krishna, no? Like the pure devotional service towards the Lord. But then she always thought she was not the one. So similarly, though he is also a Majan, so he is saying that about the other devotees who have achieved the same platform of devotional service. Swayambhu, and then Narada Muni, Shambhu. Like Narada Muni also is anytime he can go into the three, no, material world and also his spiritual planet. No, he has that freedom. Shambhu is Lord Shiva. Um four Kumaras, Kapila Muni, no, the who gave the Sankhya philosophy, and Manu, the father of mankind, Manu, right? Vaivasvata Manu. Now the current Manu is Vaivasvata, that's Swayambhuva Manu, which is mentioned there. And then Kumara Kapila Manu, Prahlada Janako Bhishma, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka Maharaj, and Bhishma Pitamaha, right? Is also great devotee. And Balir Vaya Sakir Vayam. So Bali Maharaj, Vayasaki is Shukadev Goswami and Yamraj. So these are the you all try to remember this verse. Okay, next time you should tell everyone of you. Very simple one. Go to the next verse, 10:14.6. So that verse didn't have any purport. Tatapi bhuman mahima gunasyate विभोधुमर्हति अमलान्तर आत्मभिः अविक्रयात् स्वानुभवात् अरूपतो हि अन्यया बोध्यात्मतया न चान्यथा तथापि भूमान् महिमा गुणस्यते
तथापि
भूमान् महिमा
गुणस्यते
गुणस्यते
विबोधुमर्हति अमलान्तर आत्मभिः
विबोधमर्हति अमलान्तरात्मभिः
अविक्रियात् स्वनुभवाद् अरूपतो
अविक्रियात् स्वानुभवादरूपतो
हि अनन्यबोधयात्मतया न चान्यथा
हि अनन्यबोध्यात्मतया न चान्यथा.
Okay, we'll read. Srina Mataji, you can continue.
Okay, Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Non-devotees, however, cannot realize you in your full personal feature. Nevertheless, it may be possible for them to realize your expansion as the impersonal supreme by cultivating direct perception of the self within the heart. But they can do this only by purifying their mind and senses of all conceptions of material distinctions and all attachment to material sense objects. Only in this way will your impersonal feature manifest itself to them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is difficult for conditioned souls to understand all the transcendental features of the Supreme Lord. As confirmed in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Sabhyate. The transcendental existence of God is understood progressively as the impersonal effulgence, the localized supersoul in one's heart, and finally the Supreme Personality of Godhead existing in his eternal abode. Lord Krishna's transcendental existence is beyond the qualities of material nature. Thus, here the Lord is referred to as agunasya, without material qualities. Even by practicing yoga or engaging in advanced philosophical speculation, one will find it very difficult to understand clearly the transcendental existence beyond the modes of material nature. And these processes are virtually useless for understanding the Lord's own unlimited transcendental qualities, which are far beyond the impersonal conception of spiritual existence. Only by the mercy of the pure devotees of the Lord or by associating with the Lord himself can one begin the process of realizing the personal feature of God, a process that culminates in pure Krishna consciousness, the final and supreme perfection of knowledge. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we can see actually the purports are smaller, right? So actually 13th chapter Brahma Vimohana Leela was the last chapter which Prabhupada wrote, right? So by that time actually Prabhupada had left this world, and from here onwards it is written by the devotees, right? Are you aware of this?
No Mataji.
Oh Mataji.
Yeah. So the last chapter was the previous one, the 13th chapter Brahma Vimohana Leela. That was the last chapter which Prabhupada wrote the purports. So after that it is said that they all like and of course the devotees is the senior disciples with referring to all the acharyas books and Prabhupada's lectures, like that they had completed this the other till 12, right? Where we have 12 cantos totally. So yeah, actually Prabhupada while writing the first 3 cantos itself, he was unsure like will he be there, and that is why he had given, you can see the uh, you know complete exhaustive philosophy in the first 3 cantos. If you, I mean, in the first canto itself, sorry, not first 3 canto, first canto itself, if somebody reads, you can make out, like, because Prabhupada and other thing was Prabhupada was feeling like anywhere somebody takes and read, he should understand the complete, everything should be there. He should not miss out anything. So most of the many places we can see some repetitions are in earlier cantos, like, and more philosophy Prabhupada has almost given there, right? Those were the books which he wrote initially, right, before he went to US. Yeah. Okay. Translation. Non-devotees, however, cannot realize you in your full personal feature. Nevertheless, it may be possible for them to realize your expansion as the impersonal supreme by cultivating direct perception of self within the heart. But they can do this only by purifying their mind and senses of all conceptions of material distinctions and all attachment to material sense objects. Only in this way will your impersonal feature manifest itself to them. What is impersonal feature of the Lord? How can it manifest?
Universal form.
Yeah, universal form is also an impersonal feature. But what is the impersonal feature that yogis meditate upon? There are three kind of God
The light,
realization, right?
the light.
Brahman.
Yeah, the light, right? So the light where there is no form, that is why it is called impersonal, right? So the effulgence which we say of Krishna, right? So we have three kind of realization, right? As you all are aware. So one is that Brahman, which is the effulgence of the Lord, which is itself is called as impersonal realization. And then comes Paramatma realization, where four-handed form, the Vishnu form, is revealed to the yogis. And then furthermore advanced, when a person completely understand and he does personal service to the Lord, and then Krishna reciprocates, right? So that is Bhagavan realization, which is the highest. So here Lord Brahma is not completely rejecting that there is no, I mean, it's wrong or something, impersonal realization. But the thing is, it takes a lot of time, and also the process is not very easy. Like we know, like even in the Ashtanga Yoga, because it all starts with purifying the mind senses. But when it comes to Bhakti Yoga, the process itself is purifying, right? While doing bhakti, one's mind get purified, the senses get purified. But here it is other way. Until one purifies his mind and senses, he will not be able to sit and meditate upon Lord, right? Because there will be a lot of distractions. So this is actually very difficult, and this is not for this yuga, right? So here Lord Brahma is saying, and even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, Kleshodhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta higatir dukkham dehavadpiravapyate. So Krishna says to Arjuna, because after showing the Virat Roop in the chapter 11, so to clarify the doubts of everyone, for benefit of everyone, Arjuna asked Krishna the first question in the chapter 12, that which do you consider, whom do you consider the highest? The one who meditates upon the impersonal feature of the Lord, or the one who meditates upon your personal feature? This was the question asked by Arjuna after he saw the Virat Roop, because after seeing the Virat Roop, everybody would be thinking, okay, this is the highest, right? So to clarify that, Arjuna asked that question. So what did Krishna says? The one who always meditate upon me on my personal form, that person is dear to me. He is the highest. So the one who is engaged in the personal service of the Lord is considered to be on the highest platform, Krishna says. And then in the fifth shloka, where Krishna says that very difficult for the person embodied, Dehavadbhiravapya. They're like we are all embodied, in the sense we are actually souls, but then we are covered by subtle and gross elements. So and this is not this only life, as we have taken many lives, millions of lives. So we have been used to it. that we have something, body is there always. So because of that, we are not able to perceive on something which does not have form, right? If you ask, somebody asks you to meditate, close your eyes and meditate on something blank or nothing, you can't, right? We can't, that doesn't happen to us. So it's very difficult to perceive, it is said, unless a person's mind and senses are purified, then maybe he is able to see the impersonal feature of the Lord. It is said here, right? And in our shastras, many places it is we have seen, even like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed so many Mayavadis during his time. Like at a stretch, there were like more than 10,000 Mayavadi scholars who had surrendered onto, like who were following, who were reading the Bhashya given by Shankaracharya, Sri Shankaracharya, and then they all later, accepted the philosophy given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the philosophy given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called?
Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva.
Bheda Abheda. Achintya Bheda Abheda, right? What is the meaning of Bheda Abheda?
Simultaneously same and different.
Yes. Who is same and different? Who is that? Krishna and?
The living entity.
Yeah, that is important, right? So the living entity and the Lord, simultaneously same and different. Same in quality, in quantity, it differs, right? Just like example we give of the spark and the fire, right? So yeah, so that he gave. And also there was a famous pastime happened between a great scholar of that time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was in Puri, like in Jagannath temple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance in front of deity, and in ecstasy, and he would get fainted. That is Ashtavikara, they say, right? So it is like one of the transcendental ecstasy, it is to faint, and just like we see some symptoms of Arjuna in chapter 1, right? The hair is standing on end, anxiety on the different things. Same thing happen even on the spiritual platform, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu often experienced. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was happening like that and he fainted, so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was there. He was a Mayavadi Sanyavasi then. And he observed and he thought this person cannot be a normal one, because to go into that stage, no, it's not possible for an ordinary living entity. So he thought, he took him, and he saw he was very young. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just 24 years when he took sannyas. And he thought, let me give some examples from Vedas, because he's very young and it would be difficult for him to carry out brahmachari all his life, brahmacharyam. So he thought, he wanted him to convince him to marriage, and also he wanted him to study Vedas. So he took him his home. And also it is said, like for 1 week, he uh, taught him he explained regarding the Vedas. So all the 7 days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't open mouth. He didn't speak nor ask any question. So the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was felt bit doubt. So he asked him, like, why are you not asking me any question? Are you really understanding what I am asking? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually, he also he said that the Vedas are like the sun, right? It's very clear, the Vedanta Sutra. But the interpretation you have been giving is like you are covering it. You're not telling straight. You're giving your own interpretation, right? So that is why I don't want to comment. And then he explains him about personal feature of the Lord, right? And then after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains him all that, and then he was like, he was astonished by the kind of explanation he gave for the verses, and then he surrendered also, and he said he had composed verses on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, right? What famous verse. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपाम्बुदिर्यस्तमहं प्रपद्ये. So is saying that the most merciful incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, no, he taught the devotional service and detachment to the material things. So he had made verse. So in those times there used to be people used to have, vada means arguments, and then if the other person defeated, they would happily accept, and like they would surrender if they were not able to give from their side, if they are not able to defeat the other person, right? So similarly, many Mayavadis, like, they surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And even the four Kumaras, it is said that they were they were inclining towards impersonalism. But when did it happen? Anyone knows how they become devotees from
When they
impersonalist?
when they once tried to go to Vaikunta, and Jaya and Vijaya stopped them, but they see the Vishnu form. They smell the tulsi leaves from his garland and the
Yes.
bumblebees and all. Then they get so attracted to the personal feature, and they become they come out
Yes.
of the impersonalization.
Yes. So Srila Prabhupada says that even any impersonalist, if they come in contact with a pure devotee, there is a chance, no, like they can become a pure devotees. So that is what happened to four Kumaras also, right? So similarly, we see Shukadeva Goswami. He was also had inclination towards impersonalism, because when he was born, he just left home, right? His father was running behind him, calling for his son, but he didn't come. He didn't turn up. So then Vyasadeva had to send his disciples, and the two verses. Anyone knows what are the two verses? Which, by hearing those verses, he become a devotee. He gave up the impersonalism, and then he comes to Vyasadeva to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyone knows the verses?
Forgot Mataji. No.
Okay, we'll read. I have opened here. Is it visible here? 3.2.23?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Yes. अहो बकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिगांशया पाययादपि असाध्वी लेभे गतिं धात्रि उचितां ततो अन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेमा. So this was the one verse which they said, which says, alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of a mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So, by hearing this, that how merciful is the Lord, right? This was the one verse where which changed Shukadeva Goswami's perception of absolute truth. He otherwise thought that absolute truth means impersonal. But then he heard this. After that, one more is about the beauty of Lord Krishna. 10.21.5. Barhapidam Natavaravapu Karanayoka Karnikaram Bibradvasa Kanakakapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randran Venur Adhara Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrindai Vrindara Vindaranyam Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishad Gita Kirtihi, wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, blue karnikara flowers on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and Vaijayanti garland. Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers as he entered the forest of Vrindavana. Beautifying it with the marks of his footprints, he filled the holes of the flute with the nectar of his lips, and cowherd boys sang his glories. So, these are the two verses where, by hearing this, Shukadev Goswami wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from his father, and he gave up on the impersonalism. So, there are many examples, like in the Shastras, how while coming into this association of a pure devotee, even a impersonalist can become a devotee. 10.14.7 Gunatmanaste api gunan vimatum hitavatirnasya ka ishire asya kalena yairva vimita sukalpair bhupam shava ke mihikadyubhashaha Gunatmanaste api gunan vimatum
Gunatmanaste api gunan vimatum
Hitavatirnasya ka ishiresya
hitavatirnasya ishireyasya
kalena yairva vimita sukalper
kalena yerva vimita sukalpe
bhupam bhupam shava ke mihikadyubhashaha.
bhupam shavake katyubhashaha.
Yeah, who will read? Translation.
Shall I read, Mataji?
Okay, Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Translation. In time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? Purport. Srila Sanatana Goswami explains that Lord Krishna is Gunatma, the soul of all superior qualities, because he gives them life. For example, one may discuss in an abstract way such qualities as generosity, intelligence, and mercy, but they come to life only when a living person exhibits them. Thus, Lord Krishna is Gunatma because he descends to the material world and re-establishes religious principles by exhibiting all godly qualities himself and inspiring them in others. A living entity who develops the transcendental qualities found in the Lord receives immeasurable benefit and eventually goes with the Lord back to his own abode, where all the living beings are liberated and fully endowed with the transcendental nature. Srila Sanatana Goswami further explains that the Lord manifests a specific spiritual quality for the benefit of each living entity. Since there are innumerable living entities within the confines of the material creation, the Lord manifests infinite qualities. Thus, every conditioned soul can appreciate the Supreme Lord in a particular way. The example is given here that even if the most learned scholars could someday count the particles of earth, snow, and light, they would still fail to understand the qualities of the Lord. In this example, earth, snow, and light are progressively more subtle. Thus, it is to be understood that there is an increasing difficulty in counting their virtually infinite particles. According to Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura, great personalities like Lord Sankarsana actually have counted the number of atoms on the earth and even the molecules in the entire universe. Yet, even such a personality as Sankarsana, who has been continuously chanting the glories of the Lord since time immemorial, has not even approached a final count of those glories. Lord Krishna exhibits his most astonishing qualities during his childhood pastimes in Vrindavan, where he steals butter from the cowherd ladies, dances with his girlfriends, and plays with his cowherd boyfriends as their most dear companion. Although appearing like ordinary human activities, such sublime pastimes embody Lord Krishna's immeasurable and innumerable beautiful transcendental qualities, which are the life and soul of the pure devotees. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Correct. Translation. In time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But all among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? So, actually, in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 13, Krishna says, uh, the Supreme Brahman, that is the Lord, he's there he says, he is, he is nirguna, but guna bhoktrucha. What does it mean? Nirguna means no qualities, right? Guna bhoktru means master of quality. So can anyone explain what is that meaning? No quality and master of qualities.
He has no material qualities, but he is a master of all transcendental qualities.
Yes, good. Yes. So there it means that Prabhupada explains that. So nirguna means there is no material qualities like we have. Ours are like ours anger is also it is bad because Krishna says in chapter 16, the three enemies, lust, anger, greed. But these are not there. But there is there anger rasa. It's a kind of rasa. It is there. It's a which is a Krishna has created these qualities like different rasas also, right? In devotees, these are all for the pleasure. So, like Virya rasa, and like how Bhishma Dev used to fight with Lord in the Virya rasa, it is said. So, he was taking enjoyment. Krishna was enjoying that rasa with Bhishma. So similarly, it's like different rasa, like Radharani used to be get angry with Krishna. So those are all transcendental. Those are not material, and the love that gopis had towards Krishna is also said to be transcendental, and it is not on the platform of lust, which is there in material world. So Krishna says that this world is compared to what? Urdhva Moolam Adashakam. So the banyan, inverted, perverted banyan tree, right? So actually, all the whatever we have here, the qualities, these are all perverted reflection of the quality which is there, which is pure and free from this material modes in spiritual world. But when it comes to this material world, it get contaminated. No, the love become lust here, right? So like that, all the qualities. Krishna created varieties, right? But he is, it is said here that Brahma is saying that we can't count on the qualities of the Lord because he is unlimited. And even the Ananta Shesha, right? So Ananta Shesha also says, Prabhupada gives here in Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura said that Lord Shankar has said, Lord Shankarshana has actually counted the number of atoms, and even the molecules in entire universe, which seem to be impossible, but he has done that. But still, he says that he Ananta has lot of many modes, but then still he has that He's short of mouths to glorify the Lord. So much is the glory of the Lord. No? So it's very difficult for us to understand. But then for pure devotees who has realized the Lord, it becomes very easy for them. We see that how easily the devotees glorify the Lord, right? So because that is possible only when Krishna show mercy upon them. And so there are actually 50 qualities which is said, which is in Brahma also. And that quality even the Jivatma also can make perfect in his life. But then one can get those qualities by devotional service, but then not more than that, living entity. But 55 is the qualities of Lord Shiva, and 60 is Lord Vishnu, and 64 is Krishna. So the four qualities, the transcendental qualities are that Rupa Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, Bhakta Madhurya or Prema Madhurya, and Leela Madhurya. Right? So Krishna is said to be so attractive, right? So when it is said that even the pure devotees are self-realized souls, right? The liberated people. Krishna attracted even them. And it is said even Lord Narayana got attracted by the form of Lord Krishna, right? We have a pastime where in Krishna book, one of the pastime where Lord Narayana wanted to see Krishna and Arjuna, and he made he created some pastime, right? Killing the sons of Brahmana, something it is there. So where he made them to come because he wanted to see. So such is the beauty of Lord Krishna. It is so attractive for even Lord Narayan and self-realized souls, right? And then Venu Madhurya. So we know that Krishna used to always, play his flute for cows and the gopas and gopis in Vrindavan, and they would at any time when they would hear that too, even in the midnight, when Krishna would play the flute, they would leave everything, house, everything, and they would run away, come running to see Krishna. There's so much it was attractive for them, for the devotees. And then Prema or Bhakti, Bhakta Vatsalya. So Krishna was always, surrounded by the devotees in all the pastimes. So, and also he has, created different rasas, right? Like in the Goloka, we have how devotees associate with Krishna in different rasas. Shantarasa. What are the rasas? 5 rasas chronologically. Bottom is
Dasya,
Shanta, Dasya, and
Sakya,
Sakya,
Sakya rasa, and then Vatsalya
Vatsalya,
and
and Madhurya.
Madhurya. Yeah. So there are the different rasas Krishna created. So to so that he can have that sweet pastimes with devotees, right? Ye yatha mam prapadyante. However, one want to serve Krishna, in that mood, Krishna reciprocate with them. And then Leela, right? So many different Leelas like Krishna performed when he comes to this world, like butter thief, right? That is a famous pastime. And then the Rasa Leela with the gopis. So, so these are all very distinct only for Krishna. This is not even there in Narayana also. Because even the all Devatas, even Lord Shiva wanted to see this Rasa dance, right? Because it is transcendental. It is not a normal, no, uh, meeting of boy and girl or like that. So even Lord Shiva, who is completely renounced, but he wanted to also participate in the uh, rasa dance, right? So these are the transcendental qualities of Sri Krishna. Tattenukampam. Okay, 10.14.8. It's a very famous shloka. तत्तेऽनुकम्पां सुसमीक्षमाणो भुञ्जानयेवात्मकृतं विपाकम् हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विददान्नमस्ते जीवेत यो मुक्तिपदे साधया भाक् तत्तेऽनुकम्पां सुसमीक्षमाणो
तत्तेऽनुकम्पां
भुञ्जानयेवात्मकृतं विपाकम्
भुञ्जानयेवात्मकृतं विपाकम्
हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विददान्नमस्ते
नमस्ते
जीवेत यो मुक्तिपदे साधया भाक्
जीवेयो
मुक्तिपदे साधया भाक्
Once more we'll read. तत्तेऽनुकम्पां सुसमीक्षमाणो
तत्तेऽनुकम्पां सुसमीक्षमाणो
भुञ्जानयेवात्मकृतं विपाकम्
भुञ्जानयेवात्मकृतं विपाकम्
हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विददान्नमस्ते
हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विददान्नमस्ते
जीवेत यो मुक्तिपदे साधया भाक्
जीवेयो मुक्तिपदे
मुक्तिपदे
साधया
साधया
भाक्
भाक्
So this is actually for all of us also. Let's see what is this verse saying. Yes, who wants to read? We'll read. Yeah.
Translation. My dear Lord, one who earnestly wait for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reaction of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisance with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Purport. Srila Prabhupada Swami explained, Srila Sridhara Swami explained in his contemporary that just as a legitimate son has to simply remain alive to gain an inheritance from his father, one who simply remains alive in Krishna consciousness, following the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, automatically becomes eligible to receive the mercy of the personality of Godhead. In other words, he will be promoted to the kingdom of God. The word Susamiksamana indicates that a devotee earnestly waits the mercy of the Supreme Lord even while suffering the painful effect of previous sinful activities. Lord Krishna explained in the Bhagavad Gita that a devotee who fully surrenders unto him is no longer liable to suffer the reaction of his previous karma. However, because of in his mind a devotee may still maintain the remnant of his previous sinful mentality, the Lord removes the last vestige of the enjoying spirit by giving his devotee punishment that may sometimes resemble sinful reaction. The purpose of the entire creation of God is to rectify the living entity's tendency to enjoy without the Lord, and therefore the particular punishment given for a sinful activity is specifically designed to curtail the mentality that produced the activity. Although a devotee has surrendered to the Lord's devotional service until he is completely perfect in Krishna consciousness, he may maintain a slight inclination to enjoy the false happiness of the Lord of this world. The Lord therefore creates a particular situation to eradicate this remaining enjoying spirit. This unhappiness suffered by a sincere devotee is not technically a karmic reaction. It is rather the Lord's special mercy for inducing his devotee to completely let go of the material world and return home back to Godhead. A sincere devotee earnestly desires to go back to the Lord's abode. Therefore, he willingly accepts the Lord's merciful punishment and continues offering respect and obeisance to the Lord in with his heart, word, and body. Such a bona fide servant of the Lord, considering all hardship, a small price to pay for gaining the personal association of the Lord, certainly becomes a legitimate son of God, and as indicated here by the Lord's Dayabhak, just as one cannot approach the sun without becoming fire, one cannot approach the supreme pure Lord Krishna without undergoing a rigid purificatory process which may appear like suffering, but which is in fact a curative treatment administered by the personal hand of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past deeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. So, this is for someone like the pure devotees, right? So, who has completely given up everything, no? The and he has surrendered onto Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And his only business is devotional service onto Krishna. But we all have experienced, though, like after coming to Krishna consciousness, right? Initially, what happens? Everything looks good. Initially, everything happens good. And then there is a phase where Krishna tests you, right? All of you have faced it. Have you all faced? Like, not that you are now Krishna conscious you are doing and nothing bad is happening or in your life. Is anybody like that? After
No,
coming to
Mataji.
Krishna,
No,
right?
Mataji.
So we get more challenges. Yes, it happens to devotees many times. It happens like uh, many face like severe chronic health issues, and we can't understand why, because the devotee is doing such sincerely the devotional service. We can't understand, right? Why Krishna is testing like that. But because these are all material platform, and Prabhupada gives there that so much at least we have to pay for it, for going to, uh, because we need to have a personal association with the Lord, right? We are aiming for something big, right? Even in the material world, like for getting into an IIT or something, like students study so hard, right? For getting into it. So much test is there in material platform. Just going into getting admission into a good college. So how about going into like in a different planet, moving from material planet to the other planet? So much purification is required, right? Without purification, we are not allowed. No, Krishna says, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha Manmaya Mamupashita Bahavo Gnana Tapasa Puta Madbhava Magataha. So one has to give up the attachment, material attachment. No? Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. Bhaya means fear. Fear, why does fear come? Fear is because of unknown future, right? Why does people accumulate so much? That is of fear of unknown, right? What would happen to me tomorrow? No, so I have to uh, save so much, or I have to struggle, work hard so much so that my tomorrow is good. But who knows, right? Tomorrow we will be alive or not, right? But we are all thinking that we are. No, that is there. No, nothing happened to me. Somebody is dying. Okay, then I will be there. Nothing happened to me, like that. That kind of feeling is there, because that is feeling is also coming because we are soul, right? The soul is eternal, and it does not know something dying. That is why we are all scared of death. No, why somebody is scared of death? Because nobody wants to die. They want to live. No. So Prabhupada says, yes, devotee can live forever if he takes into devotional service, because living forever means a devotee will never die, Prabhupada says, because he gets a spiritual body, and then there is no dying, because if we are taking birth in this material world again and again, that means we are taking different material bodies in different species of life. But that will not be there for a devotee who meditates upon Krishna, right? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaf prayati samadbhavam yati vakshyami bharatashu sayati paramam gati yati nastyatra samshaya, sorry. Yati nastyatra samshaya. So Krishna says that at the time of dying, whatever one thinks, so he is going to get that kind of body. So if we are in the mode of passion and ignorance, and if our thoughts are towards some material thing where we are very much attached, likely our next birth will be in that life, right? In that species, or somebody whom we are very much close, maybe we'll be born again in the same family. Or somebody is, why we should not hate also, it is saying, because when we are hating someone or we are carrying a grudge towards somebody, those thoughts will be there at the time of death, and likely the person is going to be born in the same person whom he does not like, right? So we see in a family where they cannot get along at all. Right? So these are all because our own karmas. So that is what a pure devotee always thinks when something uh, bad happens to him in the life. He thinks that to be of that it's happening because of my own karma of past deeds. No, as it is said, nothing. Krishna does not give anything apart from our own karmas. Nothing. He only based on our past deeds and the pious and the uh, pious deeds and the
Impious.
impious, yeah. Impious deeds. So these two deeds, as Krishna takes accounts of these two, right? He gives us in accordance with uh, material nature also, right? She is also uh, with the support in the sense material nature is the one who is going to give us the material body, right? So Krishna will instruct the material nature based on our desires, that this such living entity desires so and so, so accordingly give that body. So Prabhupada says, like somebody is taking the non-veg, right? So he gives that, so that person can get a body of a tiger, because in that body he get a lot of freedom. He can enjoy how much he wants it, because this body of a human being is not made for that. So if that is not properly used, then we will not be given this body, right? So in that way, everything a pure devotee, and like many devotees we see, like they're having problems are there. It is not that they're free from problems. Even when Krishna, it is when Krishna was himself present also, we see that even Pandavas, they went through lot of difficulties in their life, right? But Krishna was there for them always, but does not mean that they were always, uh, there is no problem in their life. but it was always there. And Kunti Maharani also in her prayer, she says that let the problems, and the calamities come on us again and again, so that we can see you again and again. And she says, for seeing you again and again means we will not have to take birth again in this material world. So that is their consciousness. So they are always aware. So for this kind of consciousness, what is more important is, unless we are not on the body platform of a body, it is very difficult to be in this platform. Do you agree? Do you all agree for this?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so we cannot artificially do this. It has to come. When one advances in spiritual life, when he then by mercy of Guru and Krishna, one will be able to come to that understanding that he is not body. So what will happen? First, he will develop the renunciation, vairagya, and knowledge. Knowledge which is causeless knowledge, which is transcendental knowledge, spiritual knowledge, right? Which is not the material knowledge. So when a person is fixed in that knowledge, then only he will be able to not get distracted by worldly things. Otherwise, it is not easy, right? We cannot imitate. We cannot. So if we imitate what it happens, we will become like a mithyachari, right? Krishna says in chapter 3. So some may look like wearing a very saffron dress, tilak and all. But in mind, he is very disturbed, envious of others. He gets anger quickly, and all these anarthas are there. But outside, you're portraying like a very good devotee. So that is not, Krishna does not see that, right? There are many instances where Krishna has reciprocated even to somebody of the lowest, like when we think in material form, it is their position is nothing. But then Krishna reciprocated because he only sees the pure love for the Lord and nothing on the material platform, because this is nothing for Krishna, right? So Krishna can become a charity for Arjuna. And he, in the Rajasuya Yagna, Krishna service, what was the service for Krishna? He was washing the feet of all the guests. So his position is never challenged, and that is why Krishna is called Achyuta. He always remains in his position, whatever work he does when he comes to this world. So, understanding Krishna's position, the devotees who, all the while, it is said here, all the while suffering the reaction of past misdeeds and offering you, still they don't give up the devotional service. They're always fixed in devotional service with all their heart, word, and body. Who is dedicated there to Krishna, such a devotee is eligible for liberation. So who is telling this? Lord Brahma himself. And it is said that it is a rightful claim, just like a son has a right on his father's property, right? Yeah. So similarly, this devotee becomes the he has a he can demand from the Lord, like in the sense Krishna gives him. Krishna becomes bound to give such a devotee. So we can take this like a lesson for us. So when something happens, so whenever something bad happens, we can always think, maybe I have done, maybe not in this life, in the previous life or somewhere we have done something. So that is why it is coming to us as a reaction or whatever happens bad. And always praying to Krishna that we should be able to overcome that, and let me never be let me be fixed. Let me not give up on my devotional service. Let me be able to perform the devotional service at least, right? So there was one Mataji where when she forgot everything, but only thing she remembered was the chanting. So that's what mercy of Krishna. She didn't remember anyone. She forgot everyone, and it is said she used to do 16 rounds, and then she will forget that she completed 16 rounds, and she would go and ask everyone, "How much? Do you know how much I did?" So nobody, no, even if they tell you have done 16, she will again start doing from one. So this is on material platform. It looks like why she's suffering, but actually it's mercy of God. Some trouble Krishna is giving so that she can take that devotee back to his abode. Right? So with this, we stop here. Anybody wants to add anything? Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji.
Okay. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वंदे की जय।